Greetings, content friends. I'm Marcia Reefer Johnston. Hi, everyone. Howdy, y'all. Sup, big dog. Hello, darling. Which one of those voices sounds like your company? Does your company even have a voice? The trouble with companies is that they tend to be full of people, and people insist on having separate personalities and distinct voices.
Thinking about voice is part of any company's content strategy. And this voice that you define affects every person in your company who's involved in creating content. So what is this thing called voice anyway? What does it mean to say your voice, your organization's voice? It's a simple concept. It's the way people talk. So that includes the words that you choose when you're writing or when you're speaking. It includes the syntax, in other words, the order of the words. It includes the length of your sentences. It includes the sentence structures. It includes your punctuation even. It includes the metaphors that you choose. You might wonder, why do you care? Why does it matter that everyone speak with one voice, or at least some consistency throughout the organization? I think about this the way I might think about a friend. How do you know that you want to be friends with someone, that you trust that person, that you want to spend time with that person? Because you get to know who that person is, what that person's like, what that person is likely to do. Is that somebody that you want to be around? And if you can't get a sense of a person, you can't decide to be a loyal friend to that person. And the same is true for companies. Companies are looking for loyal customers. Well, loyal customers are loyal because they get to know a company and trust it and like it and want to spend time and money on that company's products and services. How do you make this happen? How do you manage to get everyone in your organization somehow speaking in a consistent way, speaking with one voice? Which, by the way, is the title of a wonderful ebook put out by Acrolinks, and I have no connection to the company. I was not involved in creating that ebook, but they do address this topic in the book called Speak with One Voice. How in the world do you get a large number of people to do this? One of the tools, and the reason that I am making this video is to share this tool with you, comes down to adjectives, and specifically adjective pairs. I learned about this from content strategists who have been doing this for years, including, for example, Margot Bloomstein, who teaches a workshop on this. You can, in fact, buy a card deck from her that has hundreds of adjectives in it for an exercise that you might want to do on your own with your groups. I've learned from Christina Halverson and Megan Casey of Brain Traffic. They both talk about this approach. And Anne Handley, one of my favorite marketing writers, has recently written a wonderful blog post that's called 5 Keys to Developing a Strong Tone of Voice in Your Content Marketing. It's an entertaining and informative post that is full of examples of voice and examples of companies who are using voice in unique ways. This exercise that I would like to walk you through now, you could think of it as a game. We'll call it This, Not That. And the way that you play is that you gather your stakeholders. Now, people use that term all the time. I would like to clarify what I mean by stakeholder. From experience, I have learned that if you don't have those people in the room with you helping to make those decisions at the beginning, you may pay for it later when somebody who cares about those decisions, the words that people use, the voice of the company, was not included. They may later undermine your effort or at least fail to support you. But if they're part of it from the beginning, not only are they going to contribute and help you make good decisions, but they'll be there for you, helping to get the word out, helping to promote the value of what you're doing. And you want everyone helping you to make this work. And every game needs a goal. The goal of this game is to come up with 4 or 5 adjectives that describe your company's voice. And they can't be adjectives like cutting edge, because those are meaningless. They're not helpful to anyone.
We want to come up with not only the adjectives, the 4 or 5 adjectives that will describe your organization's voice, but more helpfully, we'll couple those with adjectives that draw a line and say, well, don't go that far. I'm going to choose the adjectives that CMI, that is the Content Marketing Institute, I work with that team. I have a great time working with their editorial team and find these adjectives very helpful to me as I'm writing and working with writers. So we might say, as we do at CMI, we are looking to be relatable, but not corny. But we need more than just one adjective to describe a voice. Like people, organizations are complex. For CMI, entertaining is part of the voice, but not inappropriate. And I guess you would have to define that for yourself. It won't help you, by the way, to borrow anyone else's voice. Really, the value comes in having those conversations with your stakeholders and discovering what's important within your organization. So our third adjective for CMI, we want our voice, the way we talk, to be informative, but not academic. Our fourth adjective, authoritative, but not pompous. And finally, that's better. Approachable, but not wandering. If you were closing a video and you wanted to give people a final statement, you might consider calling them colleagues. You might consider saying, hey, homies. Which words would fit for your voice? So dudes, get down with your homies. Get your adjectives on. Peace out.